Greetings fellas, back again with another sheet video. This time we are going to discuss about 1.2.2 Raintear Strife, a new season in Memory of Chaos, which was released just yesterday. So this means that we have Elation meta inbound, so whoever does a follow-up damage reduces an enemy all-type rest by 30%, and that is quite huge. So this time, Clara and Jingyuan is going to be a very powerful team combo right here. Just a spoiler alert, the enemies are all the same as the previous season, so don't worry too much about it. So as you can see in the tier list, where Jingyuan and Clara was at B tier in 1.2.1 Adrift in Astral Seas, this is not the case anymore for 1.2.2 Raintear Strife. So this means that Clara is going to enable Jingyuan to do a lot of lightning lord damage whenever an enemy hits Clara, and Clara will immediately deal a follow-up attack, reducing all type rest by 30%. So coming back to the teams again, Jingyuan and Clara are still the best combos for any team slot. You can even put Blade on team 1 and team 2, it depends really. However, you want to have Jingyuan and Clara in a lightning weakness enemy team, so this means that you will be able to deal lots of damage from there. And the reason why I was using no healer in my Blade teams was because I wanted to display and showcase how Asta was really benefiting Blade, since Blade has only 97 speed, HP boot, and Asta was able to enable Blade as well as Bronya to their maximum levels of speed. However, in MoC 9 and 10, I decided to play a little bit safer, so this means that I swapped out Asta with Natasha. However, I used an Asta instead of Natasha for my 9 and 10 for the 1.2.1 Adrift in Astral Seas. However, I decided to play safe and swapped out Asta for Natasha for 9 and 10 this time because I was trying to finish the speedrun as quickly as possible. So this is why I swapped out Asta. But it doesn't mean that Asta is not good. She is god tier in my opinion, truly godly. And for the 0 cycle clear, it is possible to do a Blade, Clara, Bronya and Silver Wolf in this current meta. I did the run, but I did not record it, and that was my saddest mistake that I've ever made. But anyway, you can actually use a Blade, Clara, Bronya and Silver Wolf for your 0 cycle clear for this current season. So for the tier list, I've already said that Jingyuan and Clara is at the top priority and in the highest tier, and finding out Asta is really strong for boosting Blade's speed. So this, for preservation characters, Luocha can already replace most of them for a buffer, so this means that preservation characters are not really needed, and especially now Blade is in the meta, he will be able to brute force without having any preservation characters on the team. Especially if you have a Blade with 160% crit damage, those very well built Blades. And for the tier list, I've already moved Asta to the S plus category, and Clara was now moved down to just S tier. However, this is the general individual character tier list, but for this season, Clara, in my opinion, will be still S plus tier. But from all the other seasons that I've tested Clara, she will now be moved down from S plus tier to S tier. Silver Wolf in the general tier list still remains in A just because she cannot remove enemy buff, and removing enemy buff is significant. However, Pela still remains at S due to the fact that she can do that, and both of them can apply defense down. So this is why Pela is still better in general usability compared to Silver Wolf. So if you have a very strong Blade, it is actually better to use a Silver Wolf. However, if your Blade is not very strong, then you might want to use a Pela instead. The podium has changed, and now Bronya's Fleet of the Ageless is replaced with the Broken Keel, as this allows Bronya to enable more efficiently and be more resistant to crowd control debuffs. And now Blade, he is the best brute enforcer in the game, as due to the fact that Clara is dealing less damage than Blade in a 7-turn cycle basis, and now that Blade can solo MoCs as well as do a 1 cycle or 0 cycle clear depending on the team, Blade will immediately be replacing Clara on the Brute Enforcer category, and now Blade will be running Longevous Disciple, Rutilan Arena, and with his signature Light Cone to make this work. Clara with Blade's Light Cone is not stated here, as it is significantly worse than a Sele with Swordplay. As for the healer, Natasha has not changed, and Luocha now has changed to use a Broken Keel instead of Fleet of the Ageless, so that Luocha can enable heals and his field uptime more efficiently. E2 Luocha Theorycrafting has also been changed, so now Luocha with double defense percentage stats is doing a lot better compared to a Luocha with a HP percentage on attack percentage on any of his main stats. So his body and sphere will be having a defense percentage, and this means that he will be able to mitigate his HP reduction to 50% so that Luocha doesn't use an auto heal on himself, and most of his auto heals go to his allies instead, while using the skill manually on himself in case he needs a heal. And for my Luocha build, I was testing it with a 2-piece Knight of Purity Palace as well as a 2-piece Musketeer of Wildweed, since I have enough speed stats on my sub-stats, and definitely for my 2-piece I was using a Broken Keel. However, with 32% effect rest and with A6 unlocked, Luocha was still getting frozen, still getting dominated in some runs where I had to test him again. So definitely 30% effect rest on him is still not enough to guarantee a resist, especially against the bosses in Team 2, so keep that in mind. So I was using the same build as here, so feel free to test this build out. However, I still recommend that you use a 2-piece Knight of Purity Palace and 2-piece Messenger Traversing Hackerspace if you don't have enough sub-stats, so that Luocha hits 134 speed and he gets enough defense so that his auto heal will be channeled to his allies instead of himself. And this is all for the sheet video for this current season. Cheers!